Holy shit, man. It's like a graveyard right here.
In the last major update of Arc Raiders, we received 3 new blueprints, the Canto, the Dolabra, and the Surge Coil. Now, if you're primarily a PvP raider, the Canto and the Surge Coil do work wonders in certain situations. But with that being said, I personally find myself in the PvE lobbies more often than not in order to be able to film other raiders while they fight the larger arc. And in these PvE lobbies, you're more hard-pressed to find a good use for these Canto, Dolabra, and Surge Coil blueprints. So what I wanted to do in this video today is just to focus on the Surge Coil and show you what I have found is my most effective way to employ the Surge Coil in a PvE lobby and get some kind of valid use out of it. Because it goes without saying that if you learn a blueprint but you can't find a valid use for it, you might as well not have that blueprint at all. So, first things first, for anyone who is not familiar with the Surge Coil, or for anyone who might not have the Surge Coil blueprint, according to the Arc Raiders development team, the Surge Coil is a deployable device that periodically electrifies the area around it and briefly stuns anything caught within its range. It's said to cause 6 damage per second, and it can allegedly stun Arc for 1 second and Raiders for half a second. Now, I couldn't find any official sources online to give you the exact times and durations that a Surge Coil will last for, but from my research, it'll zap about 42 times in a total of 21 seconds before it self-destructs, and the largest arc that you can really expect to get a stun effect on is probably the Vaporizer. Because as you can probably see in this footage here, even though you can see the larger zaps going out for the stun effect on the Queen and the Matriarch, it just doesn't really have that much of an effect on it. So even though I was able to stick it with 2 different Surge Coils, with one being on the core, I got only a total of 630 damage, and I ended up getting murked expecting it to have some kind of stun effect. And with that caveat out of the way, I'd like to make one last correction. The effective radius is actually 10 meters, not 75, as the Arc Raiders developers have marked down in the game. And it takes 1 electrical component, 1 sensor, and 1 Hornet driver to craft. And with all of that out of the way, I would like to finally get to the point here, which is to show you guys how I like to use them. Now, as you probably know, we regularly have damage flying arc trials here on Arc Raiders, and for me, the very best way to utilize these things in a PvE lobby is in conjunction with your snitch scanners in order to set up an ambush trap in order to ambush the wasps that you call in with your snitch scanners. Now, I filmed this footage during a hidden bunker event in order to have the extra 10 minutes on the raid. And in daylight, it's a little bit easier to see the wasps that are spawned in as opposed to nighttime, which they can kind of get obscured by the darkness a little bit. So just for the video's purpose, I filmed this during the day. And you can see here how I space out the Surge Coils at least 10 meters apart. That way they aren't shocking each other, so they're not causing each other to self-destruct. And I would like to point out that you will get more points for this during a nighttime raid than you do during the daytime raids. And I did bring in 27 snitch scanners and about 43 seeker grenades for this raid.
The west remote unlock has been activated.
You just want to be extra vigilant to make sure that you don't allow any of those wasps to actually target any of your Surge Coils. That way you get all 42 shocks out of each coil. As you can see there in the top left corner, we've already hit our 1-star mark in just a few seconds. Now you can mix and match the numbers of grenades and snitch scanners and such that you bring in, and you could bring in more surge coils so you can set up a better trap, or maybe set up 2 different traps. Do it however you want, but this is a very effective method.
Attention raiders, the south antenna has just been activated.
And as you can see here, I used a total of about 14 seeker grenades with 1 miss, so about 13 seeker grenades and 3 surge coils, and we're already at the 2-star mark. Now, I ran out of surge coil here at this point, but like I said, if you can mix and match however you want, you can bring in a little bit less ammo and more surge coils, you can bring in less grenades and more surge coils, and you can keep going. Now, I did get the 3-star on this for brevity's sake. I'll speed it up a little bit here. Ended up getting about 16,000 and change in points. And I do know that you can do a lot better than that when you mix and match the numbers of seeker grenades to surge coils to ammo a little bit better than I did while making this video. And there you have it. In roughly 9.5 minutes, I was able to get to this point of the map and use 3 surge coils and roughly 20 seeker grenades to 3-star this trial. And that includes looting a little bit, as you guys saw. I'll go ahead and wrap this video up here because it's already too long. I appreciate every single one of you that has hung in there till the end, and I will see you guys topside.
Holy shit, man. It's like a graveyard right here.
Yeah, I'm farming.